Okay, now this next level. This level is really annoying. Because this level has enemies that can basically absolutely ruin your day if they catch you at the wrong moment. And that take a whole lot of punishment if you use only your guns. So this is the level where we might actually break out the shotgun a few times, because fuck those enemies. But on the bright side, at the end of this level, we're going to get to my favorite level transition ever. Alright, let's swim back here first. Something that is obvious for you, but not for someone else is so frustrating. That is very true. But it's important to remember, we all start out at 0 at some point. It's fine. Like, I still remember one of my most formative moments when it comes to how game communities interact with each other was the very first MMO I played. And I was completely new to MMOs, right? So I'd never played an MMO. I was not aware of any of the, like, I was not aware of any of the mechanics of an MMO. I was literally just starting out. And I was in a beginner area of the game. And I saw a guy being chased by a whole bunch of mobs, by a whole bunch of enemies. And I thought, oh shit, this guy got way too many enemies on his tail. He's gonna die. I should help him. So I started shooting some of the enemies, and in response, got basically called a bitch and an asshole by this guy, and had him go on an angry long tirade for me about why the hell I was stealing his mobs. And I was like, what do you mean I'm stealing your mobs? I was trying to help you. And he was like, yeah, fuck you. You're just saying that, blah, 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 blocked, whatever, whatever have you. And that is how I learned about AoE farming. He was pulling mobs to farm, exactly. But I was completely new to MMOs. So I had no idea that that was a thing or how it worked. And instead of going, is this your first MMO? Have you never heard of mob farming? This guy went straight to, you're a fucking bitch and you should die. And I'm like, okay. Had a similar experience not long ago. Yeah, it always sucks when that kind of stuff happens. So, yeah. Really annoying. Anyway, I think we have to... Yeah, we picked up everything over here. But sometimes it's so... I mean, sometimes it's logic. Yeah. But I mean, again, what makes logical sense and what doesn't is quite often not entirely self-evident. Which is why I really like Rasputin's series. If you ever want to kill a few minutes, half an hour or so, Rasputin on YouTube made a really nice series that was like what it's like playing video games if you're not a gamer, where he basically made his wife, who knows fuck all about video games, play a few video games. Like, never touched a game before, and he basically made her play a few video games, like Skyrim and I think Hollow Knight, and he also made her play a bit of Dark Souls, because apparently he really hates her. And one of the very first things he noticed was that she was not using the mouse to move the camera, because no game actually told her that she needs to use the mouse in order to move the camera. And so she just went a really long time completely limited in her movement range And until by accident she tipped her hand against the camera, against the mouse, and realized that the camera was moving. Like, that kind of shit can happen. Every game is somebody's first video game. On League of Legends, I got friends who are bad at the game and they all fight 1v3 or 4v5. Pretty often when they lose 1v1. I mean, what were you expecting? Yeah, that is... Oh well. Oh god, now we get to this section. Oh. This is the longest fucking ladder in Tomb Raider history. And we have to climb this damn thing twice. I actually looked over at the timer. We were at 37 minutes and 8 seconds when we started climbing this ladder, so let's see how long this takes us. Play Metal Gear and you will get an even longer ladder. Oh god. Well, we are almost at 50 seconds, so it will take us almost a minute, if not a full minute, to get off of this damn ladder. Yep. That took pretty much a full minute to climb this damn thing. But you may not question Kojima if Kojima made it approve. Nah. Sorry, but that's not me. Honestly, I used to be of the mind that there were certain game developers where I was like, I can trust you implicitly. Everything you are going to make is going to be gold. And then we got the fucking bullshit that was Mass Effect 3's ending, and ever since then I've been like, you really can't trust anybody. Don't pre-order shit, don't assume that it's gonna be good just because XYZ made it. Give them credit when the credit is actually worth it. But before that, just pretend that it's all bullshit. Trust but verify, exactly. Because I'm not gonna lie. The Mass Effect 3 ending should go up into the top 10 video game betrayals. And I'm really happy that they ported the Happy Ending mod to the Legendary Edition, because now I can actually play the game on Steam instead of having to go through EA Origins, whatever the fuck thing, to play it. So that's nice. In Metal Gear 3 you have a 2-minute long ladder. Oh Jesus. That's just ridiculous. Oh god, yes, the Origin client, yeah. You remember that thing I got in. That was such a pain in the ass to deal with, but I still have my original copies of Mass Effect 1 and 2, and I got the Mass Effect 1 copy signed by Mark Meir, who does Male Shepherd. And all the Vorcha. So thankfully I found ways around it. Yeah, I fully applaud you for finding those ways around it. Alright. I never played Mass Effect. You should. If you like long RPGs with interesting characters and storylines and morally, not questionable, but morally tough choices, you will like Mass Effect. Okay, now we get to the what the fuck enemies. It still holds up. It absolutely does. I mean, yeah, the graphics are a bit outdated, but It's still so good. Nobody played this game for the graphics. They played it for the story and the characters and all that. This guy over there. This guy needs to die. Fucking flamethrowers. And the worst part about these guys is they don't even drop any pickups. I don't even get a health pack from this guy. What the fuck? I have a question. Yeah, go ahead, Evlogia. Okay, we can't open this yet. Do you have a translation for Pokemons? You mean, are the names of different Pokemon translated differently in German? Yes, they are. A lot of country got the Japanese name. I would honestly have to lie to say how they were translated in German, because it's been so long since I played Pokemon. I don't think we can reach that yet, can we? No. That's what I thought. Yeah, come out of here. Let me shoot you. Okay. Alright. If I remember correctly, there is a secret to pick up in this passage. I'm not entirely sure for. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oof. Was I misremembering that? Was that a different passage that I was thinking about? Huh. In France, it wasn't planned to translate the names, but Julian Barakoff, who's working at Nintendo, convinced them to translate the names. Thanks to poop? Huh? Okay, I think we actually missed something here. Oh fuck, I did not save after defeating the flamethrower guy. Now we have to do this bullshit again. Yeah, a Pokemon had Kage in its name, so Julian said in the south of France. Kage, which is pronounced very similar, means take a shit. Oh, damn. Yeah. That would be a good reason to translate it. I know, for example, speaking of that kind of thing, Rolls-Royce had a car model that was called Silver Mist. Mist, in English, means fog. In German, mist means shit. So, they did not translate that car as Silver Mist in German. They gave it a whole new name. So he named the first 150 Pokemon except Pikachu because Nintendo said, no, you won't translate Pikachu. Yeah, that makes sense. Pikachu also is Pikachu in German. But again, I would have to lie about what the others were named. Because it's been so long since I played it. I know some of them were kept as in English, some of them were kept as in Japanese. And others were adjusted where it made sense. It is Pikachu worldwide. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's your main mascot. Of course you want to keep it as it is. Okay. Air, let's go. Let's save before I forget again. In the French translation, he made a lot of jokes and some trainers had the names of his friends. Yeah, we had a similar guy who did very liberal translations for the early Nintendo games, for Zelda, for example. And some people don't like the translation that he made for Link's Awakening, for example. But I was always very happy about the translations he made for Link's Awakening. I was not keeping track of my health. I was always happy about the translation he made for Link's Awakening because he actually made it more understandable for people who had never played a Zelda game before. Like in Link's Awakening, there's a section, for example, in the second dungeon, where you have to kill 3 enemies in a specific order. And in the English, it just uses the proper names for the enemies. Like first the Stalfos, then the Wolf's Voice or whatever it is. And the problem is, if you have never played a Zelda game, you have no idea what that means. Like, what is a Stalfos? What is a Pulse Voice? What are these things? And in Germany, he translated it as first the skeletal knight, then and last the hare. And guess what? The enemies look like a skeletal knight and a rabbit. So you're like, okay, now I know what I have to do. Which I really appreciate. Thank you for making this thing easier to understand for people who have never played a Zelda game before. What was your first Zelda game? Mine was Link's Awakening. And that game made me cry my eyes out, which is probably why I'm not putting it on the streaming list ever. Okay, we're gonna duck in here first. We're gonna get the gun. And then we're gonna do that again. Mine was Twilight Princess, Oracle of Time. Okay. Also the only ones I've played. Okay, so this one actually stays up longer. Let's start with that then. But yeah, Zelda Link's Awakening just utterly wrecked me. In the best ways. It's a really good game. But it is so fucking sad. My favorite is Breath of the Wild. I haven't played that yet. Again, there's like... I try not to add new things to my library because I already have such a massive backlog. In an ideal world where I'd have only free time, I'd like to replay them sometime, right? We just need like 2 or 3 lottery wins and then we would be set. Okay. This section is so annoying. Oof. Fuck, we did not manage to kill him. Well, at least we're right next to water, so... I got Tears of the Kingdom, but I can't play it. It feels so boring compared to Breath of the Wild. Huh. I think the next game I'm actually going to go out of my way to get is that that Jurassic Park game that was announced not too long ago. Which is like a survival horror Jurassic Park game where you play as a scientist who got left behind during the evacuation of the island in the first game. And you basically have to survive until you can get evacuated again. There we go, that's what I wanted. Wasn't there also some stuff to pick up here? Yeah. This is the one thing I will say for the old graphics. They often made it easier to see where there's pickups. Called the Jurassian, not the Martian. I have no idea what that game is called. I'll actually have to look it up again. I just know that it exists and that I want to play it. Because Jurassic Park also has a special place in my heart. Okay. First of all, these guys.